Pumpkins up, Buttercup.
In this episode of Chop and Brew, it's a celebration of pumpkin beers at Saint Paul Brewing, where head brewer Bob Reopke leads the charge on two warm-spiced fall seasonal favorites, Mummy Train Pumpkin Ale and its big brother, Pumpkin Up the Jam Imperial Pumpkin Ale. I talk with Bob about the use of real pumpkin in the brew house and his preferred spicing technique. Plus, we have ourselves a fun holiday-themed lightning round Q&A. Coming right up. Quick reminder that all Pro Tips interview episodes of Chop and Brew are brought to you with support from the homies at Imperial Yeast. Their seasonal release, L32 Magnitude, is a lager yeast strain with a high alcohol tolerance and a temp range from the upper 40s to the upper 50s, making it perfect for your big malt-driven lagers. I myself am hoping to get after a smoked Doppelbock ASAP for late winter drinking using the strain. More information at imperialyeast.com. And shout out to all our Pumpkin Ninny Patreon party people. You know who you are. Your support means the world to us. Join them at patreon.com/chopandbrew. What's going on, everybody? I'm here with Bob Reopke at Saint Paul Brewing, head brewer.
Hello, everyone. Yes.
Bob is a pumpkin beer fan. Could be because he's born on Halloween.
That is correct.
Could be because his beer is kind of red.
Also true. Well, it's all got some color there.
Often the color of pumpkin beers. Saint Paul Brewing is on the east side of Saint Paul in the old historic Hams Brewing Complex, which is a story for a whole other time, totally worth like a video, if not a series of videos. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. We're here to talk about Mummy Train, and we're here to talk about Pumpkin Up the Jam, pumpkin it up while your gourds are thumping. I was trying to think of a good like parody on the way here, 'cause, like you were saying, shooting a video in the style of the Pump Up the Jam video. I was like, what would the whole song be though? Is there anybody here who's ever?
Oh, that's clever. Actually reworking the song and
we'll work on it. We're here to kind of talk about the fact that it's after Halloween. These are Halloween beers on most people's beer calendar, but why not make the argument that they're just as much for Thanksgiving, if not year round?
I can drink them all year round.
If they're your jam, your pumpkin up the jam. So we're going to just talk to Bob real quick, kind of walk us through these two beers. One is 5%, one is 7. They're different. They're out at the same time now. Has it kind of always been that way, or have they not always existed in tandem like this?
This is the first time they've existed. Well, last year we made a very small batch of Pumpkin Up the Jam, very tiny batch. It did well, so we brought it back, and this year is the first time it's been in tandem for so long.
So it's a second year only.
Yeah, correct.
For the bigger one. How long have you been brewing Mummy Train?
Mummy Train has been around since 2009, back in the Flat Earth days.
Oh, yeah, okay. So that's a carryover through.
It's been changed to my preference, but
okay,
that's just how things roll in the beer industry.
Let's talk a little bit about your preference. Let's talk about what's in these beers and what is it you want when you have a pumpkin beer and what do you not want?
Oh, all right. I definitely want to taste the pumpkin, which is a harder thing to do than a lot of people realize. We use all natural pumpkin and no extracts at all, and I use spices. And the best way to go about that, I believe, is you find your favorite pumpkin pie recipe and use the same amount of spices, like not verbatim, but to use the blend
in ratio to each other.
Correct, because there are a lot of different pumpkin pies out there, and some will have more anise, which I'm not a fan of. I like a little bit of it, but not prominent. Huge clove and nutmeg fan, so I tend to be heavier on that on mine, and that's why when you drink the Mummy Train, you'll get the nutmeg pops a little bit more.
Cheers, clove. Also, by the way. I don't know that I have had pumpkin pie with anise. That was not the spice I expected you to lead with. Like, I think clove, allspice, nutmeg, cinnamon. Probably those. I mean, mace. I don't even know what mace is. I know it's in that family. Yep. Cardamom, you could go there. When you say taste the pumpkin, you mean actual pumpkin. Where a lot of people say there's not a pumpkin in pumpkin beer. It's just the spice making you think that. But you guys
Yeah.
do use pumpkin.
We use pumpkin. It also tends to change the body. I've tried it without pumpkin, with pumpkin. Does it really matter? I think it does. Yeah, there's still sugars that are coming out of that, and it matters.
Oh, you find there's extract in that puree or meat or whatever form you're using also.
Correct.
So in Mummy Train, are those the two main spices? We got nutmeg and clove.
Yeah, there's a lot of spices.
Okay.
There is a hint of anise, but cinnamon, nutmeg, clove, allspice.
Is there the same melange in Pumpkin Up?
So pumpkin up the jam was it's a very similar recipe. It's just a lot bigger and bolder. The spice is it's not like a double exact,
Right.
but there is more. It's more of a almost like a pumpkin butter flavor that you're gonna get, or the pumpkin bread.
Right.
It's a lot more rich and a lot more fuller. The reason I like or love Mummy Train is it's on the lighter side, and you can have 3 of them, 4 of them. It's dry, so it just doesn't fill you up. Where these heavier beers will start to fill you up. You'll have 1 or 2, and then you're just kind of full.
I find that sweetness, also maybe that alcohol kind of sweetness, is fun with the pumpkin spices. Even all the way up to Prize had one this year that was like maybe 10% and had been barrel aged, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this is like having like a little shot of rum a little sipper of rum next to your slice of pumpkin pie.
And that's perfect. I don't even think I got around to that, and I love Prize's beer, so I probably should have sought that out.
Why are they so divisive? Why do people either love or hate pumpkin beers?
I think it's because of the coffee industry, really.
What's that mean?
Just the Starbucks, the whole everything pumpkin spice, and maybe not the coffee industry, but like just Target also. Like I didn't believe this, but it's actually true. They were selling pumpkin scented brooms, and that might be one of the dumbest things I've ever heard of.
Okay.
So when you sweep sweep up your mess, you're spreading pumpkin spice everywhere. So it just got a little cliche.
People feel over-marketed.
I believe that's why.
But I also feel like in the last few years, I feel like I see more people making them. So it's kind of funny. It's like the tail wagging the dog. It's like you can mock it, but then eventually it becomes like the seasonal you have to make around the October, after Oktoberfest maybe, but before your winter ale or your whatever.
Yeah, the larger companies start to get them out a little sooner. You just start seeing pumpkin beers show up in August. Too soon for me. You'll never see me put mine out before that, except for I will make it beforehand, but like right beforehand, and have it at the state fair. But that's really only
here in town though. That counts. I mean, that's when
Exactly.
Oktoberfest
And
traditionally
I want
would
people to be able
launch.
to try it.
Is there any advice for using the spices? Like, what part of the process, or is that a little too?
One, like I would say, find your favorite pumpkin pie. Use those spices because that's what you tend to like more. But the biggest thing is add it cold side. You throw it in hot side, you're gonna get astringency, and it's not gonna be great.
Okay.
Cold side's probably the best secret I could give you.
Even if they're whole spices or tinctures or whatever you're doing to get it, don't boil it. Kind of like coffee, right? You hear that a lot too.
Yep.
What has the response been since people have kind of two side by side at the same time?
They tend to like both. I haven't really noticed anybody drinking both at the exact same time.
Except us, because that's how we roll.
Yeah, exactly. They'll order one because it plays with it too. Because now you're drinking pumpkin up the jam, and you try to go back to the Mummy Train. You're like, all of a sudden the spices are kind of dulled down a little bit. It doesn't pop like it first. That first sip. And if you stuck with just Mummy Train the whole time, you wouldn't notice that. But jump into a heavier, bigger beer with heavier spices, you do.
You go back to Mummy Train, it's like, is this a Kolsch? What is happening? There's a nice, like, almost like a cherry cola, kind of cherry pie thing, also within the bigger one. I assume maybe that's a specialty malt kind of shining through a little bit more. I mean,
the malt is fairly similar, but yeah, there's some crystal malts, little added crystal malts.
there's some malt in here that's not in here. It's not
Correct.
just a percentage difference. It is a grain bill, and you can
Yes.
see one kind of screams kind of orangey copper. This one's getting a little more like almost like winter warmer red. Brilliantly clear, beautiful beers. And you made more this year to get kind of over that Halloween hump, just to make sure you have them.
Correct. I always wanted to go to Thanksgiving. That definitely should make it that far. Really hard to sell pumpkin beer after Thanksgiving, though.
Of course. But I would argue, I mean, I made this point last year with our friend Fiddy at Thomas Liquors, is like, these are the flavors of Thanksgiving to me. It's just the visual that seems so Halloween-y.
Yep, correct.
To me, Halloween is more like black beers. Maybe not Imperial Stouts yet, although I'm not hating on it, but like,
Yeah.
like a black IPA to me is like the perfect Halloween beer. It's like a little bitter. We're getting into the darkness theme, but I almost think the spice beers during Halloween, I'm like, no, there's enough candy with weird flavors in it to go in up against your beer. You don't need it in your beer yet. But like, show up with an epic crowler or 6-pack of a pumpkin beer to your Thanksgiving gathering. That's gold.
Yep, I have to agree with that. I for me, like I said, I could easily drink them all year round, but when fall time hits, like that just crisp, cool weather, and right now this is a great year. Like we still have leaves on the trees that are changing, and
It's beautiful.
It's November. That's usually unheard of in Minnesota.
They seem like they'd be a fun brew day. There's stuff going in that aren't usually on your
It
brew
is,
sheet, right?
Yeah, I mean they're fun. It seems like it's a little more laid back. They're not as. It's not really labor. Well, it is labor intensive actually, but only because of the pumpkin.
Is it puree or
Yeah, I use puree.
okay? And that goes in to boil or more like whirlpool?
Yep, boil.
Okay. So you can boil the pumpkin. I've tried it with both like puree, roasting pumpkin, pie pumpkins, and it's fun. It adds something to it. But I guess in my mind, I was thinking you're adding all these spices, but you said that's cold side. So it's
Yep.
not like
And that's
like
how
all
you-
these like
yep.
Instagram moments of photo out, like here's the cinnamon, here's the allspice.
Yeah.
It's kind of all at the end. And
Yeah, there's been times where I have roasted pumpkins. It's just that's very labor intensive, and it's not a
On
very
this scale.
Yeah, it's also not a consistent result. I've done it 2 different times, and it was 2 different beers. And if you use puree, it's going to be more consistent, and that's kind of what you're aiming for, at least when you're producing professionally.
so even though it's not hazy, you've kind of still gotten the pumpkin to drop out, but you're saying there is something to the mouthfeel.
Yep.
If it's had pumpkin in it, kind of keeps it a little more round.
That's round, earthy. There's that. It just if it wasn't there, you can kind of notice it.
It would probably finish, I don't know if dry is the right word, but quicker.
Yeah, it would.
Maybe even like spicier, right? Because there wouldn't be something for those spices to kind of like sit on. It would just be like,
Yeah, the spices would probably overpower it because you need that residual sugar to get that roundness.
what about a little lightning round? You down for a little lightning round?
Ooh,
If I can even remember the questions. Stuffing or dressing?
stuffing,
Pumpkin pie, apple pie.
pumpkin,
Pumpkin pie, pumpkin bread.
pumpkin. Ooh, that's a tough one because I've had some breads that have surprised me, but it's typically pie. But if you get a nice savory with butter, pumpkin bread, maybe then.
Get a little salt in it too.
Yeah,
You don't
a little
usually get
salt
salt in your pumpkin pie.
And I
too
had one
much.
with cinnamon sugar on top. That was great.
Like sweet potatoes / yams or mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes.
Watch football after the meal or throw a football after the meal.
Ooh, I'd probably rather throw one, but it's not that case. I usually just watch because no one to throw footballs with.
Turkey or ham.
Like, smell? Because I am a vegetarian, and I don't eat either one.
Okay. What's your go-to then, as a family or just as an individual for Thanksgiving on such a, what seems to be like this meat focused, which it's not, but
It is, but that doesn't bother me. I'm actually a pro hunter, and
yeah.
yeah, people that eat meat don't bother me at all.
What's your go-to meal though? What's your entree?
It's mashed potatoes, corn, stuffing. I love stuffing.
Oh, you just ride the sides?
Yep, I'm a sides guy. Yep.
I thought maybe
Sides-
like butternut
sides-
squash or a spaghetti squash with a nice sauce.
No, I don't need. Yeah, just sides and dips.
Backtracking to Halloween, best candy, worst candy.
Ooh. Best candy. I'm all over the board there. I like a good Milky Way, but Reese's peanut butter cups are great. Worst though, probably fake banana flavor, like so Runts or yeah.
Like Now and Later's or whatever
Yeah,
that tries to
whatever,
go banana.
Yeah, never been a fan of that.
No banana in your beer.
Yep.
No banana in your.
Or anything with
Candy.
fake sugar. I can't do fake sugar either.
What other beer style do you think is as divisive as pumpkin beer?
Not divisive. I'm trying to think there.
I don't know if there really is. I was trying to think of this on the way. I mean, you could say hazies, but like, well, clearly they're not too divisive because they ran the beer world for
Yeah.
a good 10 plus years.
And that's the first thing that popped in my brain, but then I was like, well, maybe it isn't. It's not really I probably or at least for me, it'd be a Cascadian Dark or like a black IPA. I've never been a fan because I just don't feel like bitterness and like bitter from a darker beer plays well.
Yeah.
So I've had a handful that I've enjoyed, but it's not. There's not many I enjoy, and it's just me.
So Bob won't be coming to my house to drink for Halloween, is what he's saying. But I get it.
I love dark beers. Don't get me wrong. Porter's probably my favorite beer.
I feel like most people, when they point to black IPA, they play more like the language game. It's more like, well, that doesn't make sense, versus does it taste good? But at least you make the argument that like, I just don't like that clash of flavors as
Yep.
much as I would like something else.
I think it could be done right. I just haven't found one that like just appeals to me yet.
We're on a hunt for a black IPA that Bob likes.
I keep trying them.
Dude, I know. Well, no, it's interesting because I feel like they come out now. You know, like Steel Toes
Yep.
Douglas just came out. I do feel like it's kind of like the hoppy seasonal that's not Oktoberfest. It's not quite these winter beers. It's not quite the big giant stouts that we'll get into like later into the winter.
Yep.
So, I don't know. Kind of best of both worlds if you're like an IPA nerd and you like black beer, but also some people make them as unblack in taste as possible to where it's basically like
Just
a Schwartz beer version of an IPA. Yeah,
I'm gonna like that one probably too.
you would like. I appreciate the quick sit down. I just always appreciate these. It was fun to have them as early as they were out, and then I was glad that you said that they would be around for a minute. So grab some pumpkin beer for your Thanksgiving feast. Make a pumpkin beer for your Thanksgiving feast. I don't know if by the time you see this you could turn it, but if you're a skilled brewer, pumpkin for pumpkin, y'all. Cheers.